はい、皆さんこんにちは。マネックス証券のハッチこと岡本兵八郎です。本日はマネックス証券で取り扱いをしています次世代通信関連世界株式戦略ファンドの実質的な運用を担当されていますニューバーガーバーマン社よりアジア株式リサーチ責任者の YT ブーンさんをお招きし、次世代通信を取り巻く市場環境についての最新動向を詳しくお伺いしたいと思います。Hello, YT. Welcome to Manex.
Hi.
It's a real pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
それでは早速トランプ関税を踏まえまして 5G の市場環境についてお伺いします。YT, could you please provide an overview of the current market landscape for 5G, particularly in light of the recent developments related to the Trump-era tariffs?
We are now in a historic moment, but not at the end of the world. We are undoubtedly in a once-in-a-100 years moment. Global trade's dynamics and norms are being reshaped right before our eyes. Trump's tariffs, while disruptive, are not entirely unprecedented. We have seen measures during his first administration. What's different this time is the scale, the unpredictability, and the tactics nature of his tariffs, which have caught markets off guard. Tariffs have become a tool for negotiation and an avenue for deals to be cut. A reduced 10% tariff rate and 90 days pause signals potential openness to negotiation. This suggests that future negotiations could result in outcomes better than the blanket tariffs initially proposed. Much of what we are seeing, including tariffs and onshoring, are accelerations of trends that were already underway. As investors, we need to embrace a new world order, identify what trends still enjoy structural growth under the new regime, and capitalize on market corrections to position for long-term growth. Fortunately, the 5G trend remains strong as technologies such as semiconductors and AI have become even more strategic to governments.
では米国の金融政策との関連についてもお伺いしたいと思います。So, how does this align with the current U.S. monetary policy?
We believe the Fed has room to act. Historically, tariffs have been deflationary as they curb spending and investments. As recession concerns grow, the likelihood of rate cuts increases, which could help reset and stabilize market sentiment. A lower rate environment is particularly favorable for growth stocks, including 5G and technology, which could start performing well once the dust settles.
先ほど進行中だったトレンドが加速しているという話がありましたが、具体的にどのような点で既存のトレンドが加速しているのか聞いてみたいと思います。So you mentioned that ongoing trends are accelerating. Could you please elaborate on the specific areas where these existing trends are gaining momentum?
We're seeing an acceleration of existing 5G trends. While tariffs would likely reduce global GDP growth in the near term, areas of structural growth, including 5G, stand out, and they are poised for to be richly rewarded over longer term in a world where growth is scarce. We also believe that U.S. onshoring is in place. A key focus of the Trump administration is domestic manufacturing. For example, TSMC has committed to expand its U.S. investment by an additional $100 billion, bringing its total U.S. commitment to $165 billion over the next 4 years. This expansion represents the largest single foreign direct investment in U.S. history, which should benefit semiconductor equipment suppliers, materials, and construction companies. Another example, Apple announced more than $500 billion of investments in the U.S. over the next 4 years, their largest ever spending commitment. NVIDIA plans to invest up to $500 billion in the U.S. For AI infrastructure over the next 4 years. So higher onshore capex benefit 5G companies, not just in the U.S., but also throughout the supply chain. For example, the production of NVIDIA's Blackwell chips has commenced at TSMC's Phoenix plant. Concurrently, NVIDIA is building supercomputer manufacturing plants in Texas with Taiwanese companies like Foxconn and Wistron, and collaborating with Amkor and SPIL for advanced packaging and testing operations in Arizona. We believe semiconductors are becoming strategic assets. To borrow President Trump's words, without semiconductors, there is no economy. The race for semiconductor supremacy has intensified. China is rapidly trying to catch up, while Taiwan is protecting its leadership, and the U.S. aims to revitalize its semiconductor manufacturing capability with Intel. We believe AI is still in a very strong structural growth. As generative AI shifts from training phase to inference, edge AI and agentic AI are emerging as the next big thing. Beyond infrastructure, we have started to see attractive opportunities in software, mobile apps, and AI devices. This makes for a more robust AI ecosystem and should drive up the return on invested capital on generative AI. AI agents are increasingly tailored to serve diverse industries. They can learn and adapt based on the shifts in context and sentiment. This will be transformative for customers, for consumers, and for businesses. Further, small language models run on edge devices like smartphones or smart wearables is taking off. For example, smart glasses like the Meta Ray-Bans are gaining traction, highlighting the growing adoption of edge devices powered by edge AI technology. The convergence of these technologies points to a very exciting future where AI enhances everyday experiences, delivering smarter and more personalized solutions.
では次にポートフォリオにおける投資行動についてお伺いしてみたいと思います。Next, could you walk us through the investment decisions you are making within the portfolio?
So, on portfolio strategy to combat the challenging market environment, I would say for the most part, given tariffs are on goods, not on services or semiconductors, the portfolio is not directly affected by these new proposals for now. Mm-hmm. However, we are affected in a way that these proposals affect all of the growth and the nature of commerce. There would be some performance impact on the fund given negative investor sentiment, but we had reduced exposure to more sensitive sectors prior to this. We focus on bottom-up stock picks, and we retain more defensive and nimble approach amid the extreme market volatility.
では具体的にどのような調整をしているのかお伺いしたいと思います。What kinds of specific changes are you making in your portfolio right now?
So in terms of portfolio adjustments, we have been slowly sourcing from strong outperformers, which has been very defensive, such as names like IBM or T-Mobile US. We've been adding to areas aligned with growth resilience, non-tariff linked growth opportunities, such as companies like Netflix, Take-Two, CyberArk, Kakao, and Monday. They offer robust product or idiosyncratic cycles, which we believe have high estimates, achievability, and are relatively insulated from tariff-related pressures. And in terms of AI infrastructure beneficiaries, we believe AI infrastructure remains a cornerstone of our growth strategy, with increased positions in enablers like Amazon, Broadcom, Credo Technologies, which are poised to benefit from the ongoing adoption of AI-driven solutions across industries. And beneficiaries of US-China trade tensions as well, we have taken advantage of the sell-off to capture opportunities in beneficiaries of supply chain reconfiguration driven by trade tariffs. For example, Taiwan's MediaTek and Germany's Infineon are gaining market share from US competitors in the China market. With strong North American presence, companies like Fujikura and Celestica are benefiting from US AI cloud infrastructure and manufacturing onshoring trends. We're also increasing European exposure. We have been strategically reducing some Asian exposure given trade tariffs and macro impact, while increasing allocation to European companies such as EssilorLuxottica and Ardian, which are relatively more immune to US-China trade tensions.
ではですね、最後に今後の計画についてお伺いしたいと思うんですが、To conclude, would you be able to outline your strategic plan going forward?
So this is what we plan to do. We are open to the possibility of slower growth, and things could get worse in the short term before they get better. In that sense, we expect to add to high-quality names only on extreme weaknesses at attractive valuations and sell on modest gains. More importantly, we're staying defensive. We're also looking out for green shoots, such as relative winners in the US-China trade war or subsectors with signs of cyclical bottoming out.
本日はニューバーガーバーマン社よりアジア株式リサーチ責任者の YT 分さんをお招きしまして、次世代通信を取り巻く市場環境についての最新動向をお伺いしました。Well, thank you, YT. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you next time when you're in Tokyo.
Thank you.
Thank you.